Welcome to a new Vaya release. It took a long time since the last release of Vaya, but the wait was hopefully worth it. The new version, Vaya 1.8, comes with a huge number of improvements and new functionality. In this first video about Vaya 1.8, I want to give you a quick overview of the changes, with more details coming in future episodes about Vaya 1.8. The first new thing you might notice is the new splash screen when Vaya starts. But that's only the beginning. If you start adding files and go on to create layers, you'll notice some changes. The activities layer is gone. It got replaced by a new agents layer. MatSim started strictly separating agents and vehicles about a year ago, and Vaya's finally caught up with this. Also, the transit statistics layer is gone. It got integrated into the regular transit schedule layer. So when creating a transit schedule layer, make sure to also have the events file ready to get the full functionality. So let's add an agents layer, a vehicles layer, and the transit layer, and load the data. Let's start the animation, and it looks as we're used to it. Now, try to have a look at an agent's plan, and you will notice that the button that used to be in the toolbar is no longer there. Instead, we have new query buttons in the agents layer as well as in the vehicles layer. Activating the agents query button, we can query agents as we were used to. Clicking on a vehicle, we get information about the vehicle's driver with an improved overview of its plan. Using the vehicles layer query tool and clicking on a vehicle, we get information about that vehicle, which is especially of interest for public transport vehicles. Another change in the user interface is how to set the shown time, or set the animation speed. As usual, you can just grab and drag the sliders around. But especially for setting the animation speed to, say 10 seconds, you need some exercise to get to the right point. Now in Vaya 1.8, you can just click on the time or the speed, and a small pop-up appears where you can enter the exact values you want. Hit enter or return, and the new values are set. This also allows you to set special speed values, usually not available using the slider, like 2.5 seconds per frame. Let's continue with our overview of the major changes in Vaya 1.8. Attributes. Loading additional attributes for agents or links in the network was hidden behind this little icon here. In Vaya 1.8, attributes can be managed directly in the setup dialog. In previous versions of Vaya, there were some kind of special layers that worked together with the network, namely the dynamic link attributes and the difference network layers. When one of these layers were used, they usually only showed a message that the new attributes are now available in the network to choose from. But the layers themselves did not really show anything, or in other words, they were no real layers. So, in Vaya 1.8, these fake layers are gone, as they are integrated into the attributes management in the setup dialog. Go to the link attributes, for example, and let's go to add a new attribute. And here we have the old functionality available again, nicely integrated as attributes. This whole topic of managing attributes will be handled in more detail in an upcoming episode. What else has changed in Vaya 1.8? The XY layer can now show lines and areas, and even animate those. Data shown by the XY layer can now be placed relative to the viewing area, allowing for overlay-like informations. The size of labels can now be set to change according to the zoom and even be hidden at a certain size, so they auto-appear once it is actually useful. Movie recording provides a new video encoding format named Apple ProRes, which is especially useful if videos from Vaya should be post-processed. And in addition, the H.264 encoder now produces higher quality MP4 files at a lower file size. So this is it for a first quick overview of some of the major changes in Vaya 1.8. In future episodes, we'll have a closer look at some of these changes and additional new features. Thanks for watching.